This is V Speak Life coming at you with the V Speak Life and V Speak Life. Doggone it, I say that all the time. I always mess up my own name. This is the Speak Life show, guys. Thank you for staying tuned with us. We are happy to have our fabulous guest with us here tonight. Her name is Miss V. Ashley Reed. And it's a little disclaimer. I hope you caught the fact that it's V. Now, that's probably why I said my name like 5 times to make sure she knew that I am the original V
of the show, right?
Yeah,
you got it. You got it, sis.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. And guys, of course, that's probably why she's here, because her name starts with the letter V.
A little bit, and we vibe on the same level of growth and trying to grow our community. So of course,
I love
like
it.
V.
She's an awesome woman. We are here going to talk to you guys tonight about grown woman moves. What do you guys know about that? Give us a call at 470-251-4343. Again, that's 470-251-4343. If you don't, all right.
They're not playing
hey,
tonight.
Jack, how do you answer the phone? Press the speaker button. I'll try it. Hello, you've reached the Speak Life show. Who do we have on the call?
Stephanie.
Well, hello, Stephanie. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. What can we do for you tonight, Miss Stephanie?
I would like some advice about financial freedom. It's like I'm trying to get to a good place where I'm comfortable. So what's the best way to do that? And if there's a quick way to do that, how would I achieve that?
For financial freedom, well, the first thing I would say for you to do is to put out your budget. Take a look at your bank account. Take a look at everything that you're already spending out, and make sure that you're itemizing each and everything that you're doing with your money. That's the first step, is to know what you're doing with your money, seeing where your money is going. If you're out at the fast food restaurants and you want to stop it, or you find yourself spending way too much money in another store because you're always shopping, or you're spending too much on paparazzi. Shout out to all the paparazzi sisters out there. But whatever your habit is, you'll see what that habit is, and you'll begin to see any trends that you're setting that may not be so positive as far as you saving your money. So that would absolutely be the first step, is looking at the different places you're actually putting your money out. That's where I would start.
Yeah,
so next up, what would you say is the next step, Ms. V?
I think outside of spending habits, you need to also check out, how I talk about it in the workbook, is your reoccurring bills. Your reoccurring bills, because we don't think about the idea of like what cable costs us, or versus a way where they can save money. If she's trying to, your goal is to be more financially free. Tell me what that means to you.
It means, well,
that's the first step. You have to clarify it. You have to clarify
come up with a definition.
And it needs to be in terms, what I have people do is write a freedom statement. So everybody says, all right, they want to be free. Everybody want to be financially free. But to so many different people on so many levels, that looks very, very, very different. So like she said, first you got to evaluate your current finances. See where you are, and then see how much further you're willing to go.
Yes.
That's going to be key, because there will be no change unless you make the changes.
Right, because it's easy for me to say I want financial freedom, but you guys ask that main question, what does that mean to you?
Right.
And it's just like, I need to define that. So I think that's some good advice.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate you guys and the advice. I'm going to definitely start with getting a budget, if nothing else. That's the very first big step.
Well, I'm so glad you called in. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kennesaw.
All right, Kennesaw in the building.
Hello.
All right, you ladies have a good night.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, guys, if you haven't realized yet, tonight's show is Grown Woman Moves. And we also want to talk about freedom. Freedom on tonight, because we want to make sure everyone understands that there is a cost.
Absolutely.
There is a cost to freedom.
There's a big cost, I feel like, and there's an understanding as well. The first thing being understanding you, understanding what freedom looks like to you, because for some people, it might look like being able to go to something that is set in stone, and they're going to go to that same job for this amount of time, and then they'll be able to save and grow and do that things. But other people like myself, entrepreneurs, I'm like, this ain't working. This ain't enough. This is not where I want to be. So then I have to figure out, what does that look like for me?
Exactly.
For me, it's
I
time.
like that you shared that with Stephanie earlier, because it's really important that we have that actual definition of freedom.
Yeah.
And what is the definition of grown woman? What type of moves does a grown woman make?
Absolutely. So direction, clarity, strategies, being able to put those things. So Grown Woman Moves is about the actual moves that we make, the actions that we take behind getting the freedom that we say we want.
That's right.
In the very, very beginning of my book, I have you write out the freedom statement. I give you mine because people are like, hey, well, where does that come from? I have them write out the freedom statement. I brought a book for her to check out too. But I'll hand it over to you, and that's one of the things that I have people do very, very, very first book. Freedom statement. How can we know where we're going? We don't even know. We can't explain to the next person or even to ourselves what we're trying to do.
I love this. I love this. I love this. And it says, my freedom affirmation: I will not be enslaved by the idea of simple savings to then not have enough money to even live off.
Be broke.
I want to enjoy the money I work so hard to earn, and earn more by doing what I enjoy doing. I've enslaved my spirit long enough to the rules of many different systems. Now my spirit will allow me to just work to live anymore. I'm not going to read anymore. You guys need to get this book. It's Grown Woman Moves.
And that one's the working guidebook. So just like she said, a lot of people have mentioned entrepreneurship ain't nothing pretty about that. Ain't nothing pretty. It's a lot of work that goes into what we do every single day, different from other people. You show up to work, you're going to get paid.
That's right.
But we have to forethink, foreact, foreplan, and be like, hey, the next couple of months coming based on what I do, what I don't do, when I do it. All of those things are going to take place. So, yeah.
Listen, now we talk about freedom. And I want you guys to call. It's 470-251-4343. Again, 470-251-4343. And please, tonight, guys, please don't call saying that, oh, well, Jesus already paid the price for me way back on Calvary. I already got my freedom. Don't do that tonight. Okay, we know that you're saved, but he also said that faith without works is dead. So please call us and tell us what you have serious going on tonight. It's 470-251-4343. I know we just showed a picture of the actual book, so I can have it sitting right up here with us on tonight. Scoot it over. There we go. Grown Woman Moves. Grown Woman Moves. Tell us a little more what inspired you to write this book.
So I'll start from the beginning. Like, I moved to Atlanta, and then I was working at a doctor's office. I had several jobs here in Atlanta, and I was driving 2 hours to work and 2 hours back. And at some point, I needed to do a sanity check. I was like, this ain't making no sense. I'm making this X amount of dollars, $800 maybe, and I'm driving 2 hours. That's 4 hours a day. I'm stressing. I'm going through this, and I'm still broke.
Wow.
And I was like, this can't work. This can't be just the same as what we do, what we eat. How we feel also dictates our health. So when we think about that, in my thing, everything connects: money, spirituality, what we eat, what we do, what we think, everything connects. So when I was in a space of trying to figure out, like, hey, this ain't working for me, and I felt like there were other people that were afraid to be like, oh, this ain't working for me either. Mm-hmm. But tradition says, society says that you're supposed to maintain this certain job, and this is how you're supposed to live your life, which is fine. Nothing totally against that. But ultimately, that doesn't work for everybody. So there's a select few of us entrepreneurs that are willing to do the action, do the work, and actually move our situation, because that's what makes a difference for me.
Yes.
We can talk about it, and I didn't see people exposing how they got it wrong, how they tried. What did they do in the interim to be able to pay their bills while they were starting their business? one of the things that I help provide to women is that I give them, we design your growth. So if you came to me and said, hey, right now I'm working at a 9 to 5, and I no longer want to be here after about a year or 2 years, I need to design something that's going to build me out of that. The book talks about how I designed my freedom based on what I wanted to do and what I needed to do, and that was yoga.
Yes. Being
able to create a business around yoga that served me personally and served my pockets. Because ultimately, we can do what we want to do every day. You want to sing, go outside and sing. But ain't nobody paying you to sing. So how are we going to pay the light bill and the gas bill and all those things? So through the book, I was like, all right, we got to eliminate some things. We got to shift some things around and see what really makes sense. Cable, lottery tickets, grooming, when we talk about shoes and the things that we purchase, our spending habits. You can afford to start your business if you just sacrifice one pair of shoes a month. When you start putting it into action.
If that's what you're actually spending money on, is the shoes. And that was the question.
Oh, and that was for me.
What is your habit? Yeah.
And that was
what is your habit?
Yes, I had, when I moved here, I had so many shoes. We had to have 2 trucks. One truck was shoes, and the other truck was furniture and all the other stuff. So I'm sure I had a couple $1,000s worth of shoes. So many I couldn't even wear them. Wow. They were dry rotting. My mom was like, oh, your shoe here. And I was like, I never wore that.
Wow.
So when we think about the evaluation process, you have to look at where your money's going. And most times it's not just bills. We think that as people that we're broke or we don't have a lot of funds. We're like, I just pay my bills and that's. No, you also going out. Mm-hmm. Even if it's free to be at the club because homegirl lets you in or she paid for you to get in, you had to get gas to get there. You had to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And time is money.
And time. Listen, earlier this week, as you mentioned shoes, we saw the Colin advertisement with Nike. Mm-hmm. And we also saw a lot of backlash from that ad going out. And what were they doing? Burning shoes.
And I'm like
who does that?
I don't do that.
Who burns the shoes? There are a lot of analogies going on with that. Meaning, hey, they're burning crosses, or so many different analogies. So as a grown woman, what advice would you give to our audience on tonight about the burning of the shoes, what you could do instead of burning the shoes or rushing to go out and buy shoes? We saw a lot of that on this week as well, people going to buy shoes. My suggestion is to go buy the stocks. For Nike, if the stock drop, that's the perfect time to buy.
That's the move.
Right. That's a power move that you could make.
So when I think about that, I look at it this way: everybody got the right to do what they want. That's your stuff.
It's your stuff.
That's your stuff. But I also look at the things that we purchase. We work for that. Ultimately, me personally, I'm not buying the brand. I'm buying it because I like it and nothing else. It doesn't matter if it's Nike, Fila, Adidas. I like Rocket Dog shoes. Sketch, it doesn't matter. My reason behind buying whatever it is, it has nothing to do with the overall company. Exactly. Because overall, to me, there's a lot of moral things that we can ask about these companies outside of the things that are being mediated or being put on the media. So when I think about that things, I ask people, are you still drinking at Starbucks? Are we still eating at Waffle House?
Yes.
All right. So in those instances, we have to do what caters to us, and it shifts. It's okay. It's okay for a change or for your beliefs to grow with you.
Right.
Because sometimes we find out new knowledge, which we should be every day. We think about it, shift. The more you know, the more you should be doing. And if what you're doing,
the more you grow.
That's it. Mm-hmm. If what you're doing is not along those lines, it wouldn't matter to me. I'm not burning my house down because I'm upset with the builder.
It makes absolutely no sense to do that.
I still bought that house.
You just lost a lot of money doing that.
So me, personally, I wouldn't go those avenues. If I feel there's something that's going on that I do not want to support, I stop supporting. That's it. That's what your action plan is. That's what my action plan would be. For those women that feel like there are spaces like shoes and they really want to invest in those spaces, replace that with an investment or a growth plan. I tell people, it doesn't matter what, it could be shoes. I love food too. I would spend $100 a day on just eating. I would just be like, let's go eat here, let's go eat here, let's go eat here. But ultimately, I had to dial back and say, hey, evaluate your lifestyle, because that's what it comes out to be. Evaluate your lifestyle and create a lifestyle that gives you freedom.
All right, we have another caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to the Speak Life Show. Who do we have on the air? Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Trudy Corday. Just my first name, Trudy, and I'm calling from Marietta.
Well, hello, Trudy. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be here.
Well,
I've been watching you all listening.
Well, we love repeat audience members. We love having you on the show. What can we help you with on tonight?
Well, it's more so just it's nice to hear someone providing pragmatic advice that's actionable, and it resonates with me, the work that V has provided. I have her book. I'm just very impressed. But more so than anything else, it's just time for people doing coaching and motivation to do more than just, touch the peripheral of everyone's experiences, but really get down into enabling people to empower themselves to get the work done. And even though some of us may have gone through certain things and come to the other side, it's always good to come back and check ourselves. And that's the kind of material I think you provided there, V. So thank you so much for the work you're doing, and your work product is just exceptional.
Thank you. I 100% agree with what Trudy's saying. A lot of the things that we see advertised or see, they don't seem feasible. We can't grasp them. So when we think about when people being rich and being financially free, two different things. Most times. Sometimes that freedom doesn't get you to rich unless you have a plan in place that sets you on that path. Freedom, for me, is being able to control my time and control my efforts and being valued for the efforts that I'm put in. So all of us have talents. We're born with them. If we hone in on those talents, if people taught us to hone in on those talents and grow those talents, I feel we would be unstoppable as humans, because what we spend so much time is trying to fit in.
Yeah. It actually goes all the way back to what you said earlier in the call when Stephanie called in, and how do you define your freedom? Yeah. So it goes with how your definition of life in itself. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. So what looks good to you may look different to me. That's the same with success. Your level of success may be different from my level of success. Yeah. And they always say the grass is not greener on the other side. So you always have to observe and be observant to what's going to work with you. And I liked how you said that we have to have some form of tangibility. We have something tangible to actually feel and know, hey, this actually works for me. I may not like wool, but I like silk. You won't know that until you've experienced it for the first time.
Yeah, and Trudy said something a minute ago. It said, check yourself. One of the things in my book is a check yourself moment, because the problem, first off, I don't need nobody to check me.
Okay.
I don't need nobody. I need to check myself.
Who gonna check me, boo? No,
that's what I'm saying. You need to check yourself. So we're gonna talk about how we're gonna do that. How we gonna check ourselves? Because at the end of the day, we the ones sitting in the mirror, creating our own plan, our own decisions, our own steps, our own freedoms. So when we say, hey, yes, you do need to check yourself. What do I have going on? What do I don't have going on? Why am I here and why am I not here? All right, can you please tell me what steps I can do to get there?
And you know what? There was the other song, Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself. Those are power moves. You remember that, Trudy?
And it's grown woman moves when we're thinking about it.
It's showing my age. I do have another question for V, if you don't mind. Would you talk a little bit about the role of yoga and the parts of yoga that most of us may not hear about, and how that plays a role in your vision for you as well as for others?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's two parts of my company. It's called Autonomous Growth. One branches out into Grown Women Moves, where I help people through different types of consulting and project management, business management, to where I help them come up with feasible plans, action plans with feasible dollar amounts, and say, hey, we're trying to accomplish something. Here's the actions we need to take to get there. The other part of my freedom is yoga. What I bring to the community, what I bring to myself, what I bring for other people to learn and be able to use in their own spaces. It's called Purpose Yoga. It's on my site. I also have a course. First, I don't need to teach you about your body.
You should know your body.
But we don't. We spend so much time doing everything else that we don't actually take a moment to sit in and see what's really going on with our bodies. So with my program, Purpose Yoga, all I do is teach you core poses. And then I teach you how they connect to your everyday life and how you could use them to heal yourself, to bring yourself into different spaces, whether it's from depression or you need circulation, all different things that we touch on. I think it's about 21 different topics that I touch on within my free ebook. Download it, check it out, and see how you can infuse Purpose Yoga into your life. For me, yoga is an individual thing. It has no body size, no body type, or anything associated with it.
Yes.
With practice, we all could do the same things, right? But it doesn't look that way on the pictures. It doesn't look that way in our communities or in the yoga studios. It looks very perfect. Very difficult to say I'm going there for healing or for a purpose. Very, very difficult. So when I bring my Purpose Yoga program, the whole idea is to give you the space. You already got the permission, right? Give you the space to release and find yourself and go as you need to.
Keep going.
Okay, yeah. So even then, one of my focuses, okay, I'll give you a couple of them. My primary focuses are in self-directed education, communities, the Black and brown communities. I feel like there are limitations on what we feel we can do. There are no limitations, right? So the first way that we address that is through physical aspects. If I could touch it, if I could do it, if I could see it, if you could help me, I could do it, right?
Yes.
So all of my classes, I try to keep them really small. I try to keep them small for the purpose of I'm not your instructor, I'm your facilitator. I'm only there to just say, oh, can you look at this? Is this right? Oh, why are we doing this? What is this going to do for my body? What is this going to do for my life? So my program, Purpose Yoga, is focused around that. Being able to heal yourself, being able to control what happens to your body based on the knowledge you have and the practices you're able to implement in your own life.
You know, a lot of people have different ideas of what they should do when they exercise, and then they have a lot of excuses for why they don't exercise.
Yeah.
How can you go then and give some advice to the persons that are not really that interested in the exercise realm? What would you say to motivate or encourage them to look into it? If not yoga, what else would you suggest to them?
Absolutely. So any movement encourages healing in your body. Any movement, right? With yoga, with Purpose Yoga, we live every single day. And my focus is to be able to make everyday living easier, better, nicer. All those things is more livable, free. Freedom, not just in a financial aspect, but in how we feel and how we move and what we do. So I would encourage anybody, exercise nor yoga has a set time frame, a set place. If I must go to a gym, then I probably won't go. My life is too busy for that. I can't just solely go to a gym. Create space for yourself. Put a little couple weights by your bed. Make it feasible for, like, make it accessible for you.
Make
at
it
your
practical.
home. Right. If you can't carry around equipment, strap up your yoga mat and put it in the back of your car. And when you're on lunch break, after you've eaten and your food is settling, take a moment, stretch a little bit, meditate a little bit, and go back to work.
Have you always been enthusiastic about exercise? And
no, I never played a sport a day in my life until
wow.
I literally would running from my dad because he was just like, oh, grandma, help me, right? But literally I never played anything in high school, any of that stuff. So when I found for yoga, I like to lift weights. That was my thing, to lift weights in the gym. But yoga does something for our psyche, our mental state, and our spiritual state, and our physical state. So what I wanted to bring to people was something they could do at a low cost, free, and be able to connect all three things.
Yes.
Because I can lift weights, big body, right? Or I can do these different things. I can go running and clear my mind. But what I want to be able to do is focus my mind around the things that I want to do, and then let my spirit produce my growth. That can't happen, in my opinion, until your body is in a state of like acceptance. Like your body has to be open. The different systems in our bodies has to be functioning properly for us to be able to say we want some spiritual growth, we want some mental growth, some emotional growth. If things aren't operating, like when we think about PTSD and anxiety and depression, there's some nerves that's going on in here that we ain't taking care of.
Mm-hmm.
So right. If I can teach you how you're gonna move and say, oh, I'm having an anxiety attack. All right, I got control of this. First off, acknowledgement.
Control.
I got control of this. Let me take myself out of this space. If I can't mentally, how can I physically take myself out of this space? By the things that I'm doing to my body to heal it. Because ultimately, it's a reprogramming that needs to happen.
I like that.
So,
Trudy, are you still on the call?
Yes, I am.
Well, Trudy, I have a question for you now. I want to know what grown woman moves are you making?
Well, a few things, and I'll be brief. Besides having been working in corporate America now for 28 years, I have always had an entrepreneurial side to me, and I've always explored and expressed that outside of work. So one of the projects that I'm working on, I've actually just engaged V to help me with the project because of the structure and order that she brings to it. And even though I can do certain things, that doesn't mean I should. So sometimes you have to hire someone to make it happen with you. And so just putting forth a product to market that will soon be an online store. Nice. That's one. And then from a developmental perspective, I've actually also been, I went ahead and got a subscription to the Purpose Yoga content because I had chosen to get my yoga certification. I want to get more education around the form. So I've been practicing for several years, but I really want to tighten it up. And it was nice to see someone that looked like me showing me how to do certain moves properly and the meaning behind them. So that's just two of the things I'm working on as a divorced mother of two teenage boys.
Wow. Look at that. Wow. I think I spoke to Trudy about the educational direction. So one of the things that really touched base with me for Purpose Yoga is that how we learn. How do we learn? And then how do we unlearn the things that we've learned to not be so true to us?
Right.
How do we do that? So in the process, I have different stages in the Purpose Yoga, and it's one of those things is, first we got to figure out how you learn. How you willing to learn? How does your body, your mind accept information? And then from there, how are we going to undo all of the things that you've learned that you didn't want to learn?
Or unlearn things that are absolutely not true.
Bigger than just unlearning
right.
things. So even because we hold so many things true. And when she said, hey, I want to take some examples from people that look like me, one, they're going to know that experience of looking like you. That's really important to me. That's really important when it comes to teaching. I don't teach. I just facilitate. I just give you space to learn, and I just guide you on from what I know. Because one day you're going to surpass me, or you're going to know something differently from me. So it's not for me to teach.
Right.
It's just I'm there to facilitate or to give you the basis of the program to be able to develop your own. That's one of the things that we focus on. We teach you how to build a routine. I'm not going to give you a routine. I'm not going to even go through a routine with you because you'll focus on learning that routine versus what that routine does for you. We've been taught to memorize things. We've been taught to be able to program ourselves on memory. We can do this, and now we've accomplished things. It doesn't matter to me if you got through the post or the routine. What matters to me is that when you came, you were trying to heal those PNS and ANS nerves in your abdomen, and now you understand how those two things connect, and you can take it home and practice it and practice it and practice it, and then make a difference in your own life. So absolutely, yeah. Community is everything.
Well, I appreciate all of that. And Miss Trudy, thank you so much for calling us on tonight.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the fact that you learned a bit information from Miss V on everything that she has going on. So explain to our callers again, you have your autonomous growth, which is the umbrella for two different organization. Well, I think it's more than just two.
Well, the main two organizations. So autonomous growth is just the idea of how we grow. How we grow. But we have Purpose Yoga and then Grown Woman Moves. We want to take another call?
Yeah, we want to take another caller. Hello, caller. Thank you for calling in. You have called into the Speak Life show. I'm V Speak Life, and I'm here with Miss V. Ashley Reed, the author of Autonomous Growth. I'm sorry, Grown Woman Moves.
Yeah.
Grown Woman Moves. Autonomous Growth is the name of her organization. You can find out more information about Miss V. Ashley Reed at www.autonomousgrowth.com. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And how I break it down is autonomous.
Autonomous.com.
That's it.
Hello, caller. Who do we have on the call? Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good evening. It's Lady Joy.
Well, hello, Lady Joy. How are you this evening, Queen?
Queen. How y'all doing?
Good. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in.
I'm just really enjoying this show. I'm loving y'all's energy. I'm loving Queen V with the Grown Woman movement, because I think it's a movement. Is not just for tonight's show. I think it's a movement, and I think it's amazing that you. I want that book. Let me just say that I want that book.
Go to autonomousgrowth.com.
Grown Woman Moves.
Grown Woman Moves.
And it's cheaper on my website.
I'm feeling that thing now.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's cheaper on my website. So everybody, if you love Amazon, go to Amazon. But you can go to my website, and I discounted a little bit on my website because I encourage people. It's about a system. Get the book, and we'll talk about why we choose to do different operation systems, because to our advantages. And we don't know a lot about what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, what we can do, what we can't do, what we can do, and walk around the corner and do it differently on the other side. There's so many different things, and when we think about financial freedom and growth, we think about saving. We think about hitting the lottery, or we thinking about getting a grand job that's going to pay us a certain amount of money. But when it comes, especially for entrepreneurs, I'm not even playing the lottery.
You can buy
looking
stock.
for a job.
That's how you grow your money. You can buy stock. And actually, earlier tonight, I was scrolling through our comments. Someone asked about investing. Mm-hmm. There was a question about investing. They wanted to know how to get started with making investments. And there are different ways to make investments. You can invest in a house. You cannot invest in a car unless it's the stocks for the car. So when you buy a car, the car depreciates in value when you drive it off the lot. So that's not an investment. A house is an absolute investment. And then you also have your stocks. So you have mutual bonds. You can invest in your 401k at your job, IRAs that are not in your job.
Penny stocks. One of the things that me and my husband did was we literally would take, what did we take? We took $150. And we bought penny stocks.
They did not go, ladies and gentlemen, they did not go to the lottery, to the casino. Okay, I didn't think you did. I'm saying that you didn't.
But we spent like $10, and we was like, that's enough for that.
$10. $10. That's it. Just the $10. Okay.
Right. And we bought stocks that were way less than a penny. It would be something on the sense of like 0.003. So that way our increase, our change would be drastic.
Right.
So even just knowledge is power, y'all.
Knowledge
y'all better
is power.
Go and get you some knowledge.
Earlier we talked about Nike and how everyone's either burning the shoes or rushing to buy the Nike stocks. And actually, it's really not the time to buy Nike stock because everyone is rushing to buy Nike stock.
Wait for it.
When it drops. But there are so many other avenues. There are so many other companies that you can invest your money in.
Steve Madden started out as a penny stock. They were a pink sheeter. So when we think about what things grow to, people always say, I should have invested in Facebook.
I should have, could have.
Yeah, you should
Okay,
have.
well, look for the next MPO or the next small organization or this organization that is going to go live on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
Today.
And it's deeper than that. Like she said, you can invest in homes. So let's even take it even deeper than that. Talk about crowdfunding. Say you don't want to buy a home for you to live in. How about you go and invest in an apartment that they can't actually afford to build, right?
Right.
So they're going to ask for your dollars.
We need those.
To crowdfund that apartment. So it's almost like sharing the investment of a multi-million-dollar project and having a set income coming out. It's not as much of a risk.
That's right.
As individual, stocks and bonds and things like that. It's so many different levels. A couple of them, I touch on them in my book. I also have individual consultations. Mm-hmm. To me, I could tell everybody what they could do, but I can't tell you what you could do pertaining to what your abilities are in your life.
Okay. And we need that.
We have to evaluate yourself.
Some of the things they are taught in school, but some of the practicalness of it is actually
not at one time had a financial conversation.
It's not. Maybe if you did FBLA or some of the other organizations and you're in business school, you would have learned a little deeper than that. But you know what? I'm lying because they took home ec out of the schools.
I was saying, they never taught me not one thing about balancing a checkbook.
They
my home
taken
ec
it
was
out.
taking the baby home.
I'm older.
Taking the baby home and completing the recipe by the time I had hit home ec.
Oh,
so we wasn't filling out financial statements.
Or checkbooks to teach you how to write a check, and
they took it out.
It cost too much. It wasn't in the school budget.
It was easy.
Like music, they take it out of school. So we're going to
But those are the things that make us, that's how we live. Even music, when you think about it, that's spiritual. That's things that people live. That's how you move.
That's how you move.
Just like finances,
let's see,
why not?
I have a musician on the line. His name is Evan Newman. Y'all go check his music out. We also have Miss Michelle Gordon-Walker on the call. Carolyn Stevens. Trudy is on the line still. We have Kia, Miss Yoruba, and that's still Lady Joy. Lady Joy, before you get out and away from us on tonight, why don't you tell us what grown woman moves you're making? Are you still with us?
Yes, I'm actually still with you, but I actually had a question for Queen V about the whole yoga and how it benefits the body that's compromised with any form of disease. I battle with specifically diabetes. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of stress involved with the disease. There's a lot of pain associated with the disease, and I'm wondering how yoga would benefit me as a person who's battling with a chronic illness.
So, Lady Joy, I wanna touch on a little bit of sensitivity, right? When we talk about it, because what makes my yoga different? We're gonna touch on every aspect of your life. When we talk about yoga, we also talk about what we put in our bodies, right? And they diagnosed me with hypoglycemia, which means that I had almost like the reverse of diabetes. And I didn't understand the process. My dad has diabetes. He went from taking 3 metformins to 1 and having to check his sugar before every meal. He changed his diet, and he introduced exercise more often, not yoga, movement, walking, sit down, stand up. One of the things that helps, from what I've learned, one of the things that I've learned with diabetes is there is also a circulation issue. Your blood needs to get to all of these different places, but you need good blood in those places. So even if we say we're going to do some yoga to increase the blood flow and help those joints and all of these things, the sugar move and process the digestive system, we also have to think about what we're putting in our bodies on a daily basis. Not just food, stress, thoughts, because those things produce our state of living. If we go through every single day with the mindset of being depressed and we're okay with that, and we're not actually trying to move from that space, our body will accept that.
Yes.
and it will begin to act as if it is breaking, not act, it will break down. It's going to respond to your thoughts and your actions, right? So when it comes to diabetes and things of that high blood pressure, I tell people, hey, first, take a look. First off, your lifestyle and my lifestyle don't have to match.
Right.
It don't need to match. We're different people. We've already expressed, I got low blood sugar, you got high blood sugar. Very different, right? So even if I say, hey, go eat this, go do that, it might not work for you. What purpose yoga does for you is give you the space and almost the allowance, the permission that says, hey, it's all right. Try it this way, even though they told you to try it that way. Get into the pose your way versus how they told. Let me just show you a picture of how I'm going to do the pose. And you get there how you get there, and then we're going to work to make sure that you're not injuring yourself, that you're not causing more harm than good. But ultimately, Lady Joy, it's a lifestyle. When we have lifestyle diseases, and that's what they call diabetes, is a lifestyle disease, we have to evaluate every aspect of our life. Our relationship with food, our relationship with ourselves and our body, our relationship with chemicals and medications. All these different relationships have to be evaluated. So after I consulted with my doctor, I'd be like, okay, my mission is, I would go to my doctor with a different mission. My mission is to either decrease what's going on with my diabetes or alleviate it. And if we can't, I'd be like, okay, my mission is, I would go to my doctor. I think we had a little backbeat.
Okay.
But ultimately, that's it. And then finding a program that inspires you. For yoga, I try to inspire people that, first off, nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens without work.
You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work and don't expect an immediate change. Yeah. It's not going to be immediate. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lady Joy, before you get out of here, give us a note on what grown woman moves you are making.
So grown woman moves for me means to collaborate with individuals like yourself, Queen V Speak Life.
Thank you.
And doing some grown woman things together on platforms together where we're truly making a change in the masses of women's lives that we come in contact with.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, that's what grown woman moves means to me.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Queen Lady Joy, for calling in and sharing with us the type of power moves, grown woman moves you're making in life. And I love, love, love that you called in tonight. So big hugs and kisses to you. Thank you so much.
Good night, Queens. Good night.
So we have another video of Miss V. I'm lying. They made a liar out of me. Let's take the other call. Hello. You've reached the Speak Life show. This is V Speak Life, and I'm here with V Ashley Reed. Who do we have on the call?
Patricia Brown.
I'm sorry, I did not hear your name. Patricia Brown. Well, hello, Patricia Brown. How are you this evening?
I'm doing well.
What grown woman moves are you making tonight, Miss Patricia?
Well, I'm trying to, I will be retiring off a job after 30 years, and I'm trying to figure out where do I go from there, because I'm too young to sit down, but I'm ready to start on the job. So this show I'm looking at is very exciting about putting different moves into your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And I would just like to get the advice.
Okay.
Can you say one more time what your current situation is?
You say you've been trying what for 30 years?
Well, I've been working for 30 years, almost 30. I got a year left to go, and I'm planning on retiring.
Okay.
Okay, so you're ready to figure out what's next for you in life.
The
next venture.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? What do you like doing, and what do you actually see yourself doing?
Well, I'm a minister. I'm in the ministry, so I do quite a bit of encouraging people. I would like to get more into that, but at the same token, I need to branch out into more of a professional way of doing things.
Okay.
You know something? I'm going to share a couple things with you. That one was the first start in knowing what you actually like doing. They say that when you can do something that you enjoy doing, it doesn't feel like work. So I wouldn't say retire and then go back to work.
Yeah,
if that's not
even with the mindset, like you said.
Right.
So if I was privileged to retire, I'm gonna sit down for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down.
Rest.
And I'm gonna check in with myself, because for 30 years you've been grooming yourself to fit into that space.
Yes.
For 30 years you've been doing the same thing, making sure that you made it to work and you got that pay. That's done.
I love that.
So the difference, if we're gonna do grown women moves, we need to figure out what movement's gonna work for us.
Actually work for you as an individual, and not what's going to fit for your kids, the rest of your family,
not your spouse.
It's for what's going to fit with you. What's going to work for you. Yeah. I know Susie Orman used to. I don't know if her show still comes on or not, but Susie Orman, I used to watch her show, and one of the things that she would always say is that it's you. You come first. Don't worry about paying for your kids. Listen, kids.
This ain't against
This is not against you guys. But say don't worry about taking care of your kids' college tuition. They can take care of their own college tuition.
Trust me, they coming out running all. Like when I thought about it, I was like, "What you mean? I need to pay for my kids?"
Don't go into your retirement pulling money out to take care of your kids.
That's a responsibility that they would have to embark on. What paths they go to get their education?
Right.
There's so many avenues nowadays that you ain't got to go into 30. If you want to, go for it.
Go for it.
If you do not, don't.
And you don't have to buy them a car. That you do not have to take care of them. You're not obligated after the age of 18. And even when they turn 16, 17, 18, you're not obligated to purchase anything that you cannot afford. If you can't afford it, don't do it.
You should not be teaching, because this is what happens to me, in my opinion, when it comes to what we relate off to our spouse, to our kids, to our pets. If we can't afford it and we go and do it, then you can afford it, and that's what you imprint into their brains.
That's right.
And if they see that you can't afford it, you teaching them to buy things that they can't afford.
That they cannot afford. It's a lie. And what you should it's a lie.
What you should have did was let them know that mama can't do that.
Can't afford it.
You at 15 or 16 could go get you a little side job and buy your own shoes.
You can buy it for yourself.
Fine. It's okay to have them responsibilities. So even coming back to, your question, after 30 years, what would I do after that? I'm going to see what feels good. I might go minister to the people walking in the park. And then I would figure out through what the need of the community was, what I was going to give back. I feel like we're all here for a purpose. If your passion, if your purpose you feel is to speak life into other people, then you need to strategically come up with a plan to do that.
With a plan. And speaking of a strategic plan, we have another workshop that's coming up. It's the Freedom Express workshop. Yes. At this workshop, you will be able to come in, talk about any types of things that may be hindering you from moving forward, and we'll then assist you in getting the goal and pulling that goal or dream that you have inside of you, pulling it right on out. So I would suggest Miss Patricia Brown, right? Patricia Brown, I would suggest you come here if you're in the Atlanta area. We're going to be at 4805 Lawrenceville Highway in Lilburn, Georgia. It's the Freedom Express Workshop. You can learn more about the workshop at www.bit.ly.com/Freedom Express Workshop. And it's Saturday, October 13th from 1 to 4. From 1 to 4.
In Midway, Florida.
Midway, Florida. Wow. We have callers all the way in Midway, Florida, guys. Well, thank you for joining. If you continue to follow us, or follow me in the show, and follow me on my Facebook or Instagram page, I'll be sharing some other items along with you. And just reach out to me. I have some other ideas for you. We have two consultants. I'm an independent consultant, as well as Miss V. Ashley Reed. So you can reach out to us individually to get additional assistance from us away from the workshop. We do virtual trainings as well.
I have a question for Ms. B. Reed. I was actually enjoying the conversation on the yogurt and how you incorporated it in with your health and your mind setting and all those different areas of your life. Once we get to a place where we can totally get into a real mindset and a true mindset and of coming into trueness with ourselves, then I do think that we can be able to come off some of the medication, as I was listening a little bit earlier that you were talking about. Where would I be able to pick up something that teaches you more about yogurt, your type of yogurt?
Yeah, absolutely. So coming a little bit later this month, maybe next week, we're going to release our free ebook. It's about 16 pages, and it teaches you how to connect all those poses to your day-to-day living, right? Also, it teaches you how to build your own yoga routines. The things that I found that separates us from health and growing, sometimes we can't afford or have the time. When we say afford, we're not just talking about money, right? We can't afford to go to a yoga studio and actually say, I'm going to participate and commit to a class every day. But I can commit to 5 or 10 minutes at my home with one pose, 2 poses, and just work through it on your own, right? So one of the things that we do provide, we have a free ebook that's coming out later in the week, and then we have our course that's available online now. It's called Purpose Yoga Volume 1, and it covers all of the poses that I've found very helpful physically, mentally, emotionally, to actually make change happen in your body. A lot of times when we go to a yoga class, my experience has been, I got to follow the routine.
Yes.
I can't ask the teacher. I can't ask the coach, what's going on? Why are we doing that? How do I do that? My leg don't fit there. What do I do instead? So we don't have those chances to actually interact with the instructors in a way that we would be able to do. So what I wanted to be able to do is put out a product, free or not, to be able to put out a product that people can access yoga, Purpose Yoga, wherever they are. You could download it on your phone. You could download it on your computer. We've taken it to the park. Yes. I take it to the schools. I take it everywhere I go, and that's what I teach people. I'm going to teach you yoga in a fashion that you won't feel restricted to a studio.
Wow. And where do you find that, guys? You have the book. You have a free ebook. You have a course. And you also have you as a personal trainer, yoga instructor.
She's getting all into everything. So one of the I've been to school for everything, because we talk about school, right?
Yes.
So I've been to school for everything, and one of those things in the process has been, because we talk about like the medication and the non-movement. I was in the military for 10 years. Even those movements.
And she gave back to the country.
Even those movements, right, can harm our body, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter, repetitive things. If you reach, you probably going to get some type of carpetona in your arm.
Yeah.
So what we going to do? We're going to stretch it out. We're going to teach you that you ain't got to deal with that. You ain't got to go through surgery. Just massage yourself and care for your body. When it hurts, don't keep pushing through. Stop for a minute. Give it a break. All of these things, being able to relearn the signals of our bodies when we take medication. A lot of times our senses aren't there, and we can't necessarily connect. Hey, why is this happening? Where is it happening at? Where does that feel like? What is that? We can't do that. So when it comes to that, it's not just about not taking medications. It's about the connection that your body has to your spirit and your mind.
Yes.
Because if that ain't there, we still almost like zombies, hoping to make that connection. But when we can actually feel it and work through it and direct it ourselves, that's what we do with Purpose Yogas.
I love it. I love it. Miss V, I think we still have Miss Patricia Brown on the call. Miss Patricia Brown, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am. And I would just like to say, you both look great, and you're doing great work.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate the knowledge. And I'm going to get off the line and let another caller come through.
Well,
and
before
I would definitely go.
Yeah, before you go, tell us what power and grown woman moves you're making.
Outside of retirement.
Yeah, outside of retirement, because that's boss. That's a boss
girl. I'm still working.
I want to do that.
I gotta get a job.
Yes, that's the first one that I'm focusing on. It's getting myself retired in a few months, and then I'm gonna I would like to get more into my ministry that I do, but I need to focus more on how to take care of myself. So that's going to be the grown-up movement that I'm going to make.
That's the grown-up movement you can make.
So I can be more productive.
I love it. Hey, Miss Patricia, remember to speak life over yourself, too. We appreciate you for calling in on tonight, and we wish you the best with your endeavors.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, guys, it is almost that time. I think it's 11:06 now. We are going to wrap things up. But before, I know. It goes by really fast. It goes by really fast. But listen, so I don't know if you noticed another tangible item on the screen tonight. The book is here. The book is here. So it's Shifted Masterpiece, a story of love and horror in Savannah, Georgia. If you have not already placed your pre-orders for the book, get the book. It's a great read. I've had one reviewer to say that it is a page turner, and it is definitely a page turner.
I'm telling you guys, go and grab that book, go and grab this book, grab both of the books, because they're going to give you real time, because that's the thing that makes our books different. We're talking about our personal experience and how we actually move through it. It ain't nothing outside of being able to connect with somebody that's going through or trying to go to the same space as you are. Ain't none of us perfect, and ain't none of us gonna do it the same. But what we do need is to connect with each other and be able to grow through your experience, through my experience, and then formulating our own experiences, not just what we taught.
That's right.
Not just what's false. Because I know there's some things in that book. This one right here, but this one right here. Because we've all been in a situation to where we felt stuck.
That's right.
Or we felt obligated to stay in a space. Just like finances, relationships, all of it ties together.
That's right.
We feel obligated to do these certain things, but ultimately, these all individual, you feel obligated to take care of you. You are first. You are only. You have to take care of you, because you can't take care of Xavier if you don't. You can't take care of the station.
Can't take care of my boy. Hey, son.
You have to. So, absolutely. That's awesome.
So, that's 2 books, guys. Which one? Grown Woman Moves and Shifted Masterpiece, a story of love and horror in Savannah, Georgia. Now, one last thing before we go. Most of you know that my father passed away about 9 years ago, but I've been blessed enough to have another gentleman to step into my life and take on the role as father. That's Mr. Gene McKeith, and I want to give him a big shout out. His birthday is on tomorrow, so happy birthday. We love you very much. And guys, I think that's our time. But before we go, I want Ms. V. Ashley Reed to give her contact information.
Absolutely. So you can email me at veronica@autonomousgrowth.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can also find a few of my videos. People ask all the time, like, how do I make these different shifts? I put free videos on my Instagram. I put free videos on my Facebook. Check them out. Hit me up. Send me messages. Let me know. That's how. Reach out. Everybody knows how to contact people, right?
I love it. And that's our time for tonight. I see you guys. I see you, Kevin. I see you, Miss Carolyn, Miss Trudy, Victoria.
Hey.
I see you guys, Evan. Hey, guys, go check out Evan's music. It's Evan Newman. And I'll post some of his music in the feed if I can find a video from him on tonight. We also have Mr. Jared in the building. He'll be with us on our next show. So tune in on the 3rd Thursday at 10 o'clock. See you guys
nice,
then.
good music.
Hey, don't forget, I'm V Speak Life, and I want you guys to remember to speak life, not strife. And we're out.
To figure out.
V. I forgot to give you your book. This is a special gift that I made for you. Special presentation. I autographed it just for Ms. V.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I know you stayed tuned. You didn't go away. We love you.
For real this time.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go for real. All right.
Catch you next time,
Good
guys.
night,
Thank
guys.
you.
We love you.
Figure out what emotional ties do you have to these things that you have to pay every month. Do you really need it? Do you really want it? Is it because somebody else is going to look at you different or judge you? Or is it because you actually are going to use it and need it? Most of the time, we're not even home enough to watch $200 worth of cable. It's just not something that we need. So that was one of our things, and we eliminated it. So a lot of times, it's not just about eliminating debt, or that's just the first step. That's just the foundation. Figuring out how are you going to get rid of this debt so that you'll be able to invest or grow your business or do something different. So log on to autonomousgrowth.com. You can order the book, the workbook, and go through the steps, figuring out what bills can I eliminate. How can I actually feed into the plan that I actually want to have